I can't believe when I say this, but 1 week left till we get our hands on Cyberpunk 2077. What is up, SmackNPie, SmackNPie here. Welcome back to Cyberpunk 2077. As leaks are emerging from left and right, as everybody is showcasing their early unboxing of Collector's Edition for Cyberpunk, and now we finally have official release times for the game worldwide. You can check it out, cross-check it. The preload time has started, obviously. Some people are already getting their discs early, but don't worry, one thing y'all need to know is that the day one patch is the most important thing for this game. You might have seen some reports regarding the players who are already playing experiencing multiple issues. Well, that's because it is without the day one patch, and they did it in a smart way, if you ask me. If you don't have day one patch, you basically don't have the full game. Bugs, glitches, errors, and whatnot. So day one is kind of like an assurance and security to make sure that if you want to get full experience, there is no other way until you wait for the release date. And it's still 1 week, just wait for it. It's not that big of a deal. But the reason we're here is because I wanted to talk about life paths, and I will talk a bit more later. But today, the 3 life paths we get, the choice playthroughs basically in Cyberpunk 2077. The first one, and the one that I will be going for obviously in my first playthrough, is the Corpo one. Now, the Gaming Intel reporting that the Corpo life path directly focuses on a critical cyberpunk narrative, that of the vast technological conglomerate. The player begins their journey at the Araska Corporation. This is going to be super important, this corporation. It is at the heart of the Night City. This one also plays a big role in the other 2 life paths as well, but this one, like, it is the most important corporation in all of Night City, fulfilling a wide range of duties in order to help business along. We've seen some gameplay of this one as well. However, it appears as though things might not be going as smoothly as expected. Cyberpunk 2077's Corpo life path will focus on the harsh and cutthroat business world. Players will be responsible for corporate espionage, security, banking, and even some good old-fashioned killing. So it's not much killing compared to Nomad and Street Kid, but it is still there. Being a business-minded individual that I am, maybe not, you will find you'll have a natural proclivity for reading people and seeing through lies and deceit. Maybe it's just my personality, but I love the Corpo stuff, and especially what I've seen so far. To summarize, this Cyberpunk 2077 life path is best suited for those players who feel comfortable in business-minded world. If you won't shy away from success and are happy to do the dirty corporate jobs, pick this path. That means I'm dirty and nasty. Got it. Then we get the Street Kid. I'm pretty sure this is like the most popular life path out there. The Street Kid life path might be the most recognizable narrative of the cyberpunk world. This Cyberpunk 2077 life path focuses on everyday cyberpunk citizen complete with a difficult past. The player will adopt the role of a toughened individual living in the Night City's rough and tumble underbelly. As a street kid, literally, the player will focus on their community and the bonds that come with this lifestyle. You might be responsible for fulfilling jobs for the wealthy elite, taking on jobs as a fixer. Now, we've seen this one in the early gameplay showcases of this game, I think last year in E3. Or you might find you're spending time evading the police after a gang scuffle gone wrong. This Cyberpunk life path is suited for players who enjoy the rough lifestyle of a street dweller. By choosing this route, you'll find that your character is involved in gang violence with tensions reaching a boiling point. Really cool, and this is going to be my second pick in the playthrough. And finally, the Nomad. A lot of people doesn't talk about this that much, but this actually has a really good premise. If you ever played Life is Strange 2, some of it kind of reminds me of that. The Nomad lifestyle is best suited for those individuals with a taste for the wild west, or perhaps you just like muscle cars and a glass of whiskey every now and again. The Cyberpunk's life path places you outside of the hustle and bustle of Night City. Instead, the player will start their journey in the arid desert bordering the main metropolis. The idea being the player doesn't feel an overwhelming connection to the neon sprawl. Instead, players are more comfortable in their established clan and the ragtag buildings that inhabit the desert. Just think of truck stop or garage and you'll get the general picture. This Cyberpunk life path will focus on the player having to move away from this lifestyle and forge a new one in the heart of the intimidating city. It is a life path that values freedom above everything else. These established connections will give you an advantage once you inevitably arrive in the chaotic Night City. So technically, if you ask me, we all should start with Nomad, making our way slowly up to the Corpo. But the fact that you have so many choices, and hopefully they are like dynamic in terms of choices and narrative, and obviously the cutscenes and the story and the ending and whatnot, not, and the way we play, obviously, we just don't want to change the assets and just make it feel like they're different. You actually experience a different story, experience something completely different in each life path, then we will be like, okay, because they've been pushing or trying to push the boundary of RPG, because this is like gonna be that big transitioning game that other developers follow. But I don't know, let me know which one you're gonna go for, and most importantly, one of the big reasons why you want to choose life path, because you already know mine. I'm a dirty, nasty, corporate person. That sounded wrong. I'm not that kind of person, relax.